Today, the Shwedagon Pagoda stands 99 meters tall, drawing millions of pilgrims annually.
Coated in genuine gold plate, its brilliant sheen dominates the lower Myanmar landscape.
19 is your Dachens. The crown features over 5,000 diamonds and thousands of other precious gems.
Weathering from monsoons requires constant regilding to maintain its sacred luster. This expansive religious complex has stood as the spiritual heart of Myanmar for centuries. It is widely considered the oldest historical Buddhist stupa in the entire world.
Its massive foundations hide secrets that date back over 2,500 years. But how did ancient builders raise this golden mountain without modern engineering?
To find the truth, we must travel back to the 6th century before the Common Era. Historians believe the hill was selected for its strategic and spiritual prominence. Legend states 2 merchant brothers received 8 sacred hairs directly from the Buddha. King Okalapa decreed a shrine must be built here to house these holy relics permanently. The sacred hairs were sealed alongside relics of 3 previous Buddhas. The royal decree mobilized local tribes, initiating a massive communal effort. As night fell, the summit was cleared, prepared for the birth of a monument.
Workers cleared acres of jungle, flattening the hilltop by hand, using primitive tools.
Excavation began immediately to create a perfectly level foundation for the shrine. Thousands of tons of earth were relocated to build up the edges of the terrace. Stone quarries along the river provided the heavy blocks needed for the burial chamber. Waterways served as the primary transit routes for heavy building materials. Oxen and sheer human muscle hauled the heavy loads up the steep slopes of the hill. Ancient engineering relied on simple water levels to ensure a perfectly flat base. A resilient mix of lime and clay mortar bound the heavy foundational layers together. And at the center, a reinforced vault was constructed specifically to protect the sacred hairs. With the vault completed, the stage was set for the brick stupa to rise upward. With the relic chamber sealed, the true rise of the original brick stupa could finally begin.
Each brick was meticulously laid by hand, ensuring the massive base could support immense weight.
Days turned into weeks as the base structure expanded across the sacred Singutara hilltop. A continuous supply chain of materials connected nearby villages straight to the summit. Precision was achieved through simple tools, ensuring structural balance from the ground up. The core was reinforced with compacted earth, creating an incredibly stable and solid mass. Polished stone walkways were established around the base for future devotional circumambulation. As seasonal monsoons approached, the massive lower platform stood completely secure. Intricate bamboo scaffolding structures began rising to facilitate vertical construction. Simple mechanical systems allowed for the steady ascent of heavy binding materials. The architectural shift from a square base to a circular stupa
required precise geometry. Master builders closely monitored the taper, ensuring the dome would curve correctly. Historians note this initial base structure formed the core of all later expansions. Sacred tablets and prayers were placed within the walls, consecrating the very structure. With the massive foundations secure, the stupa was prepared to climb toward the heavens. As the structure grew, the conical shape of the classic Mon-style stupa began to emerge. Working at elevating heights required extreme caution and incredible physical dexterity. Each concentric layer was built slightly narrower than the last to create the iconic taper. Counterweight systems allowed teams to efficiently move thousands of bricks daily. The core structure was originally modest in size compared to the monument we see today. Dozens of supply teams on the ground worked tirelessly to feed the growing tower. Plaster details were applied incrementally, sealing the raw brick from tropical rains. The unique local mortar blend proved highly resilient against intense seasonal storms. The top segments required immense care, as the workspace narrowed to just a few feet. Metalsmiths prepared the crowning features that would seal the very peak of the stupa. The final brick courses were completed, establishing the basic shape of the ancient shrine. A thick protective coating of plaster sealed the brick core, readying it for future enhancements. For its initial centuries, the original pagoda stood as a modest white-plastered structure. But it quickly became a major pilgrimage center, drawing faithful travelers from across the region. Successive rulers vowed to protect the site, laying the groundwork for future expansions. The surrounding courtyard was enlarged over the generations to accommodate growing crowds. Artistic elements were introduced gradually, reflecting the evolving styles of Mon culture. Century after century, the monument endured, woven deeply into the region's history. By the 11th century, the unified Bagan Empire extended its patronage to the holy site. King Anawarata initiated the practice of encasing the older structure within a larger shell. The pagoda grew like an onion, with new monumental layers built completely over the old. This unique structural encasing technique allowed the tower to reach unprecedented heights safely. By the 14th century, the pagoda had been raised to a height of 20 meters. Queen Shinsabu later raised the stupa to 40 meters, completely transforming its profile. The stage was set for the monument to receive its defining, brilliant golden coat. Disaster struck repeatedly as violent earthquakes threatened to reduce the shrine to rubble. The upper spire collapsed entirely during a devastating tremor in the 18th century. King Sinbushin refused to let the temple fall, ordering an immediate and massive rebuild. The destruction provided an unexpected opportunity to raise the pagoda to its ultimate height. Rising to 99 meters, the pagoda achieved the majestic scale we recognize today. The defining transformation began as the empire pledged its literal wealth to the monument. Citizens from all ranks of society followed, donating their personal wealth across centuries. Artisans beat the raw gold into incredibly thin plates, specialized for architectural cladding.
Each plate was attached mechanically, transforming the dark structure into a beacon of light.
Specialized copper sheets were layered beneath the gold to defend against intense tropical moisture. Every single gold plate was uniquely adorned with delicate spiritual patterns by hand. As more plates were secured, the monument transformed into a shimmering beacon, visible for miles. Donations of royal jewelry arrived constantly to adorn the crowning elements of the spire. Master gemologists prepared thousands of precious stones to decorate the final sacred umbrella. The crowning structural element, the iron Haiti, required immense leverage to lift to the summit. Once assembled, this towering crown would hold the vast treasury of donated jewels securely. With the crown anchored, artisans shifted focus to attaching the delicate gem-encrusted vein. Devotional rituals intensified as the generations of continuous work neared their peak. The sacred vein was meticulously positioned to catch the wind and the rays of the rising sun. At the absolute apex, the massive diamond bud was secured, completing the holy profile. Removal of the scaffolding slowly exposed the complete, gleaming monument to the elements. The Golden Mountain now stood complete, dominating the ancient landscape in majestic silence. Surrounding shrines were added by noble families, expanding the compound incrementally. Massive entrance gateways were finalized, securing the cardinal access points to the hill. The marble platform was meticulously leveled, completing the grand processional plaza. With construction finalized, the pagoda stood as the undisputed core of regional faith. Final preservation techniques were implemented, ensuring the gold would survive the monsoons. The completed historical monument stood prepared to face centuries of changing empires. The ancient builders had fulfilled their vow, leaving behind an immortal monument.
Returning to the present, the Shwedagon Pagoda remains an unparalleled engineering wonder.
Through layers of history, the original brick core remains safely preserved inside. Constant community care ensures its brilliant facade never loses its sacred, golden luster. It stands as a living testament to collective human devotion spanning over 2 millennia.
By encasing older structures in newer shells, ancient builders raised this immortal mountain. By encasing older structures in newer shells, ancient builders raised this immortal mountain.